on, everybody. Let's get this clip back in so it doesn't drop in the mud. My new rig, my new toy. The 2014 Polaris Ace, Sportsman Ace. These things are pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. You hear my brother in the background, he's doing his own intro walk-around video over there, making noise. This is going to be just a walk-around. I'm not endorsed by Polaris at all. I have purchased this vehicle. Just picked them up yesterday. Got a couple minutes of ride time in, then we had to put them away before going to work. So today's the first day we actually get to play with them. We've done a few little intro videos and whatnot, so now this is the first official. I'm sure a lot of people will be watching this that don't subscribe to my channel, so you'll see a lot more of this up if you do decide to subscribe. Thank you. Let's give her a good walk around. So it's where do you start? It's Polaris, brand new vehicle. They just came out in February, I believe. Single seat, steering wheel. We'll get a little closer view here shortly. So it's kind of like a side-by-side, but it's a single-seater. That's what really appealed to me. I really like that. Full roll cage. It is four-wheel drive. It is selectable four-wheel drive. It is in two-wheel drive right now. It's got the Polaris, I forget what they call it, their little on-demand four-wheel drive, so it's actually two-wheel drive until the rear wheels start to slip and the front wheels kick in. Haven't really needed it yet, although I have had it in four-wheel drive. But even in two-wheel drive, this thing, well, we're pretty flat out here at my brother's property, so it does very well. Ride is very nice. I was impressed with it. Going through the yard here is you know, it's soaking up the bumps and everything. Single cylinder, fuel injected engine, dual overhead cam, 325 cc, so it's not a big motor, but it's pumping out 32 horsepower. This thing it'll scoot. Put your foot into it and it'll move. It's a lot of people say, oh, 325, that's not big enough. This thing scoots along pretty good. They compare it to their 500 Sportsman quad from last year, 2 years ago. With the fuel injection, the dual overhead cams, the computer programming, it does pretty good. It is a constant velocity transmission. Shift lever over here. So you do have that initial, you know, got to rev it up to get the thing to do anything first. Kind of like a stall converter. But once it's rolling, it does pretty good. It does pretty darn good. Now, let's bring you in a little bit closer here. This is more my style anyway, the handheld type things. Do a walk around. So it's not a big vehicle. You can see all the tires, all 4 points, just by leaning out. We did not get any accessories with either one of ours. This is the base unit right here. They're a little pricey. This is MSRP is basically $7,500. After your tax and licensing and prep fees and everything, we negotiated down a few $100s. They're not really doing a whole lot. We did buy 2 of them, so that helped a little bit as well. But starting at the front, it is liquid cool. There's your radiator. Shot of the front suspension and whatnot. My screen's busted on the camera, so I don't get a clear shot. But it's got little plastic skid plates, little guards up front for protecting your CVs. This is how new the rig is. I still got the nubs on the tires. The one Kevin's got is actually the one they had at the dealership, so a lot of the salesmen had used theirs. This is one that they brought directly from their warehouse, so it's got less time. The front suspension is essentially from their 500 Sportsman quad. Is it rack and pinion steering, or what do we got under there? Looks like it. No power steering on these. Don't really need it. Slow speed, yeah, it's a little heavy. Once you get rolling, yeah, it's pretty light steering. Like I said, the front end is basically from the 500 series Sportsman quad. The rear end is essentially the same as what they put in their 570 Razor, which is their entry-level Razor. So, and we're running quite a bit smaller motors, so we're not stressing these parts at all. There's your clutch cover and your belt drive and all that there. But yeah, let's go from the front here and work our way back. Like I said, dual overhead cam. They're brand new. Again, haven't even pulled all the tags off yet. So, got storage up front. This is, they call this semi-waterproof. There's a gasket all the way around. A little bit of mud there from earlier goofing around. It's not very big. I mean, a couple of gallons worth. This is your access for your radiator and your overflow. Probably pull that open here in a little bit. Little quarter turns, locks it down. Roll cage, kind of required on something like this. They've got these nets with a bar along here to keep them somewhat rigid. Just a clip to put them in. Little cheesy. I could see that clip breaking over time, but there's really no aftermarket support for these things yet. Just give them time. They'll have all sorts of goodies coming out for these. I think there's one guy that's got some bumpers. One company making an aluminum top. Polaris has all that stuff too, but crank the wheel over. Yeah, standard, I'm assuming UTV style steering wheel from Polaris. It's not bad, not bad. Wish it was padded, just plastic. There's your instrument cluster. I got it set up so it shows the RPMs. Your speedo, it will not go all the way to 120. These things are supposed to top out about 45 to 50. Key slot there. 4-wheel drive selector and 2-wheel drive there. Hopefully I'm showing you. Got a power port, 12-volt power. There's your gear shifter down here. Park, reverse, neutral, low and high. Does have a cup holder. Has not been used yet. The seat is adjustable, back and forth. You also have a tilt steering wheel. Very nice. Basically the way it's set up is everything's in the farthest back or up position. It works for me. I'm not a big fan of this seat belt. It seems to ride across my shoulder a little funny. There's really no adjustment. You can go down one spot, but it's already in the upper spot. So I have actually ordered last night when I got home from work, ordered a 4-point harness for this thing. So I'll just delete that seat belt altogether. And I think it'll be a little bit safer anyway, hold me in place a little bit better. Out back, a little bit of motor access here. There's your air box right on top, very easy to remove. We actually just flipped that out here a minute ago. Just like that. Got access to your air cleaner. I'm waiting for K&N to come out with something. Drop into there. Of course these are spring loaded and it's a pain to do this one-handed. I may have to just come back and... Oh, I think I got her. 63mm throttle body right down in there. So... Also, right behind the seat, you can see some quarter turn deals there. That's more access for a little heavier maintenance. Out back, there's your spark arrestor and your muffler. She exits right there. Waiting for an exhaust kit for one of these so we can get a little more power out of her. But all in all, it's a fun little rig. We really haven't played with them too much, just bombed around a little bit, did some intro videos while they're still fresh and clean before we get them out and start tearing into it and making them dirty. I actually hosed them off once already. But yeah, very going to be very fun. I'm looking for bumpers. I did order the harness. Let's flip you guys around here. Did order the harness. I ordered the rear view mirror because I'd like to be able to see what's behind me, especially once I put the harness in. You're not going to be able to twist around in your seat too much. What else did I order? I was thinking of this this morning. The harness, the rear view mirror. There was something else. Also a couple of little decals for it, little cheesy decals just to make her stand out. I would like to find, they do have a couple of windshields, like I said. They've got a sport windshield, which is just a short one that comes up and over the dash here. Kevin's probably going to do the half windshield. They do also offer a full windshield. There's a couple aftermarket companies that do that, but And there's HID conversions and things like that. I'd like to do a bumper on this, probably a little winch. The factory Polaris bumper that you can get the after accessory puts the winch, there's actually a winch mount right down here behind this plate, but that puts it way down low in all the muck and the mud and if you're going through water and whatnot. So I'm going to wait for a bumper that shows up, or a bumper that comes out, then I can put the winch up higher. I'd like to do a rear bumper. The cage is a little tall, but I'm a tall guy, so it'll probably just do just fine. Probably do some auxiliary lighting on it, a couple of lights on the front. These tires, Carlisle's, yeah, they're standard ATV tires. Hearing people on the forums are saying, yeah, it'd be a little more stable if they had more of a flat surface instead of the rounded. But you know what, these are going to do just fine until they're worn out. And then I'll probably do wheels and tires, dress it up a little bit. But they do have, through Polaris, they have a top that has a stereo in it, or you can get just the hard plastic top without the stereo. Oh, that's what else I ordered. I ordered a canvas top for this Polaris. And then there's a bag that rides up in here for storage. They've got a canvas back, they've got a back windshield, they've got a storage bag system that runs right along down through here. They've got a couple of different storage boxes you can put in the back. The initial order that we put in, that we canceled on, because they were not telling us anything, the one in their showroom had a full box. It sits up almost to the top of the crash bar here on the roll bar, but it was a full width. Really increase your storage, but like Kevin said, I'm kind of the way thinking along his lines too, is I'm going to be using this for hauling some stuff around, some small stuff. I mean, when we got home yesterday, we used these to haul all the gasoline from where we unloaded them over to the shop. So, I bought quite a few gallons of gas, several cans. But I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy. I'm anxious to get out and actually use them. We did a little quick video bombing through the trails back here where we cut with the Jeep. Those of you that follow my channel, with the black Jeep. Very nice. I mean, it rides really good. I'm anxious to get back in there and start having some fun. But we're refraining from, at least until after this video, to keep them nice and clean. But nice little setting back here. Got the pond behind us. But anyway, that is my new toy, the Polaris Sportsman Ace. I know people are going to ask about price. Like I said, they're $7,500 MSRP. I got mine out the door for $86.13. So not cheap. I did buy a helmet. I'm not wearing it today, right now, just for this video. And we're not going to be ripping around the property. We're still breaking these things in. But I do need to put it on and get used to wearing it. But I did buy a helmet and goggles. We each bought a gallon of oil, and we've each got a filter coming, so that way when the break-in period's done, which on these, break-in period is actually 25 hours or your first 2 tanks of fuel, whichever comes first. Speaking of fuel, it is 5 1/4 gallons. A lot of people are saying that's pretty much a full day's ride out of this thing. And this is your, I don't think I covered that earlier, this is your fuel fill right here under the seat, or by the seat. Tank is under the seat. I guess we could try to do an under shot. It's a full plastic skid plate underneath. Hopefully it's showing pretty good, but it's pretty good ground clearance. It's fun to drive. As we were coming over here to hose them off, we got them out on the dirt road out in front of the place here, and you know, just saw the wheel back and forth at speed a little bit, and you can kick the rear end out. I mean, it feels stable. I know a lot of people were complaining, no, it just looks a little tall. Well, it does with the cage, but you sit so low. You got to remember, if you were riding an ATV, your seat would be way up here. So you're a good, 8-10 inches lower. Plus with the motor in the back and whatnot. So, but no, this is going to be a fun toy. I am going to get my truck up and going, get the carburetor swapped out, do some work to it. I was going to drive it today, and he was going to help me do some work, but water pump is shot on it, so put that off for a couple weeks. Come out and play with these. Next weekend we're actually going to go up to Walker Valley with them. got a little trip planned. So if you're in the Walker Valley area next Saturday, the 17th, I believe, of May, 2014, keep an eye out for us. There'll be a small group of us. But yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll go through and check all the fluids. Probably after the run today, we'll go through and check all the bolts and make sure everything's still nice and tight, and hose them off before we put them away. Get all the tags and everything off. But we're still learning them. Neither one of us has owned an ATV before, so I think he's getting bored. I think he's done with his video already. So we'll go ahead and end this. Give you a little shot. And he's way down there doing his own intro. So goofball. Alrighty, thanks for watching. I'll shut up now. I gotta go play. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.